Hi, thank you for downloading this video. I'd like to start first of all by congratulating you, because the fact that you have downloaded this video means that you have already started or are in the middle of your transition journey. I know it's tough. I know it is scary and it's frightening and it's daunting. I know it is, but from my own personal experience, from speaking to so many different transitioners, including my clients, this is one of the most rewarding things that you can do. And I wish you nothing but success and good luck. And I am sure that this video will be an invaluable tool for you as you take this journey. So in this video, I am going to explain to you the 8 stages of a career transition and what you can do when you find yourself at that particular stage. So should we get started? Okay. So I call this the CTC, that is the career transition curve. You can call it whatever you like, but this is what I call it. Now, stage number 1 is what I call it's an unease. It's the voice at the back of your head saying, this isn't right. There's something not right about this. I'm not happy. I'm not, there is this sense of dissatisfaction. This is not what I signed up to. Why am I not happier? Now, and of course that escalates then up to the Sunday night blues, Monday morning blues, basically wanting to be anywhere but at work. Over here, it's not all doom and gloom. Over here, what you can do is, and I know it sounds counterintuitive, I know you probably won't want to do what I'm going to suggest because I didn't want to do it at that particular stage, but it's going to make an immense difference. Analyze your situation. Go deeper into your situation, because what that will do is it will help you, first of all, pinpoint where is this sense of dissatisfaction coming from. For example, for different people, it's different things. You may not have a good work-life balance. That's what the main issue is. Maybe, you just don't get along with your colleagues, your manager, your values don't align with the company's values. You don't feel like you fit. This is not the right place for you. It could be that you don't see any further career progression, that it seems to be a dead end. Whatever it is, I urge you to think about it, give it time, and write down the points which are causing this sense of dissatisfaction. And also, I would say, go into as much depth as possible. Don't stop here. So now, if you say that work-life balance is the issue, what's causing you to say that? So it could be that maybe you're having to work late evenings. Maybe you're having to work weekends. You're not getting enough time with your family and your loved ones. One step further. What is causing that? Why are you having to work those long hours? It could be that during the day, you're just thrown so many ad hoc tasks by your manager or by your colleagues that by the end of the day, what you'd actually set out to do that particular day hasn't happened, which means that you now have to stay after hours and finish that. Pinpointing that is going to help you incredibly, because if you have the problem, you now know what the solution is. Once you've defined the problem, to find a solution isn't that much. It's not that much more. You need to talk about whoever needs to be spoken to. And I speak to a lot of HR people, and what they tell me is that, we want to hold on to good employees. We want them to be happy. If they have problems, if they just came to us and they just spoke to us, we would be more than happy to try and accommodate them because we want to hold on to them. So don't be scared, ask, speak. And then, okay, if it doesn't go your way, you know that fine, at least there was a possibility, you've now ruled it out. The problem hasn't been solved, let's go further. But if it works, what that means is you actually don't even need to go through a career transition. You can stay where you are. Just make your own workplace a lot happier. Now, stage number 2. Stage number 2 is what I call the false rationalization stage. Self-rationalization stage. So this is the it's just me. everybody's stressed. Everybody works long hours. Everybody's boss is, just is mean. Everybody has colleagues who's, politics, backbiting. This is everybody, right? These crazy deadlines, that's everybody. Because the people you see around you are probably going through the same thing. But you tell yourself, but they're okay. Why am I not? That means it's just me. It's just me. The problem is me. Or you feel that, look, I've been passed over for promotion. I've been passed over for a raise. Clearly, it's something to do with me. Maybe I don't have the skills that they're looking for. Again, please don't do that to yourself. It's not true. It's a very negative assumption. In many cases, my clients have found when they have actually spoken to management, they've been like, we didn't even know you wanted a promotion. We thought you were really happy where you were. That's why we weren't disturbing you. So speak, ask, talk, and don't buy into the it's just me. Now the solutions here, as I said, is speak to the people concerned, but more than that as well. Deliberately go out of your way to join groups which is not your norm. What that will do is that it will give you a different perspective. The perspective that you have at the moment is all about what you see, your colleagues, your friends. Step out of it. You'll get a new perspective. Try and find groups where people love what they do. That energy will rub off on you and you'll realize that no, it's not just you. Work is meant to be joy. It is meant to be fulfilling. It is supposed to be meaningful. Stage 3. Now at stage 3, this is what I call the look what I would lose. This is where somebody has even given themselves to contemplate, the permission to even contemplate leaving. But the first thoughts that hit you at this particular stage is, look what I would lose. Because we are designed to feel the pain of loss much more than the joy of gain. That's how we've survived as a species. But that means that that's the way we look at everything, unfortunately. So here you'd be thinking things like, I'd lose my financial security, I'd lose stability, I'd lose my friends. These are all the people that I know. These are my social circles. I would lose that peace of mind. What about all the work I've put in? For the last 5 or 10 years, this is what I've done. I've put in hours and hours and hours, the sacrifices that I've made. So what were they for? What were they for if I leave now? It's a tricky stage. I understand that it's a tricky stage. Here, the best thing to do is perspective. We can get caught up in the things of, look what I would lose. But the perspective is, am I happy where I am? And what is the alternative? If the alternative is happiness, does my Merc E-Class even really matter? Right? I mean, what's a car compared to your happiness? So keep perspective. Don't be swayed by these type of thoughts. Keep your perspective on what you're actually aiming for. The next stage is stage number 4. Now this is the stage that I call, if not this, then what? So you've managed to get past stage 3. Now you're actively thinking, okay, you know what? This isn't me. I accept that this is not me. I want to move on. But hang on, what would I even do? Now there's 2 types of problems here. Either there is the, what would I even do, as in I have no idea, or what would I do in terms of I have too many ideas, right? Either one is possible, or even somewhere in between. Now for me, I know that what I initially did is I thought about roles which were very, very similar to what I was already doing. And yes, I know in hindsight that wasn't very clever. If I was unhappy doing what I was doing, it stands to reason that just one step away is not going to make me any happier. But that is the way we think. So don't think like that. Unless it genuinely makes you happier, don't think like that. Think about what you really want to do. This idea of that in any sector or field that you now go into, that you're going to be starting from the bottom, isn't true. You have years and years of skills that you have picked up, which are usable in many different areas. So please, please don't tell yourself that. Please don't feel bad that you're coming in with nothing. You're not. You're coming in with a wealth of experience. So don't think that, please. Don't also assume that you need a new qualification. Ask. Ask. So here, what I would really recommend is give yourself the permission to try lots of different things. Whether they're hobbies, whether they're things that have always interested you, try. You may find that Morris dancing wasn't for you, but okay, fine, at least you've tried it and it's no longer on your list anymore. Obviously, I'm joking, but whatever it may be, it will give you a chance to either explore it further or it will give you a chance to write it off. Now, if there is a field that you're interested in, I cannot recommend an informational interview enough. An informational interview is where you have a sit down with a person in that particular sector and you ask them all the questions that you want to ask them. What is it like? What is a day in their life like? What is it, what are the stresses they deal with? What are the advantages? What that makes sure is that you don't walk into something blind. You don't walk into something, the idea of something. You walk into something knowing all the facts. Stage 5, rock bottom, overwhelm. There is no transitioner that you will speak to who will tell you that they have not gone through this particular stage, crisis of confidence. Now, this is when your brain really kicks into high gear because it understands you're actually going to start changing things. And we don't like change. We've evolved as a species to not like change because we think that that's a threat. We interpret that as a threat. So now all the negative self-thoughts or doubts or anything that you had in the past, they're going to come back at you hardcore now. Who am I to do this? Who am I to start up my own business? What do I know about running a business? Who am I to do any of these, to even think about going into a field that I know nothing about? Am I being a bad person? Guilt. Am I being a bad person? I'm being a bad partner. I'm being a bad family member. I am thinking of my own happiness before theirs. This is very, very powerful. And if you're not careful, this will keep you there. This is the stage at which most transitioners fall out. Financial worries. Like I said, financial, emotional, mental, all of these worries are where it really, really accumulates, and this is the peak. My advice to you over here is calm down. First of all. Now, once you have done that, my advice to you now is, you know what? You've done everything to help yourself. Now find other people to help you. What I mean by that is seek out the company of other transitioners. Seek out the company of supportive, positive people. Seek out the company of somebody who has made it into the field that you want to go into. Hanging around them will change your perspective. I'm not saying run away from your issues. I'm not saying run away from responsibilities. But don't assume. If finance is a concern, write it down. Write down your income. Write down your expenditure. Write down how you can make this work. Are you going to do it by savings? Are you going to do it by side gigging? Are you going to do it by mini gigging? Which way are you going to do it? There are ways. And you may find, look, I'm not saying that it may not be true. It may be that you cannot change at this particular point in time, but don't let that be a blanket. Work out when you can. Just knowing that you have an exit plan will do wonders for your confidence and your morale. I can't leave today, but in a year I can. I can't leave today, but in 2 years I can. Just having that end point will do wonders for you. Now, We finally, also before I move on to stage 6, there is something that I want to say. A lot of people think that this is where career transitions start. I hope you notice that this is actually not where they start. This means you're halfway through. Crisis point is halfway through. You've covered half the journey. If this is where you are right now, you've covered half the journey. It's only getting past that particular stage with these tips that I mentioned. So congratulate yourself, acknowledge yourself, acknowledge your bravery. You are doing very well. Just keep going, that's it. Now stage number 6 is when the mental shift happens. This is the shift between I can't, nobody can, I'm not good enough, blah, 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 to suddenly, okay, you know what? Maybe this is possible. Maybe this really can be done. Look at so-and-so. You know, I've known them before. They managed to move to another field. Yes, of course, there were problems along the way, but they did it. This means that this is possible. There is a huge mental shift. Here, what techniques can I give you? No, nothing. Just enjoy it. After the crisis point, it's going to feel like heaven. It's going to feel like bliss. Now here, just a word of caution. Don't linger. The reason why I say that is that this is still a fragile state of mind. If you linger here too long, there isn't much that stops you tipping back over to crisis. So don't linger here too long. So what do you do then? You move on to the next stage. That's stage number 7. Now stage number 7 is you believe you can. You now get down to brass tacks. How? Stage 7 is all about the how. It's mapping out your transition from where you are right now to your amazing new career. So this is where you put down tangible steps to what you can specifically do to get you into the field of work that you want to go into, whether that's starting your own business, whatever that may be. Step number 8 is you acting on that plan. So this is where this feels like woohoo, like you're already acting on it. You're getting excited. You know, there is that nervousness, there is that anxiety. Will it be everything that I dreamed of? Will it be, you know, what if I don't like it? Blah 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 blah. These fears will be there. First of all, if that's what you're worried about, what if I don't like it? You know, the police aren't going to come after you if you want to go back into the field you were. You already have that. This is, try this for a year, doesn't work, go back to where you were before, right? You're not going to be stopped by anybody from doing that. So don't let that be something that deters you. So there will be that nervousness, there will be that anxiety, but the prevailing feeling is happiness, and it's joy, and it's excitement for this new, and let's be honest, you know what? It's not just a new career, it's a new life, and let's acknowledge it for what it is. So these were the 8 stages of the career transition. And as I said at the beginning, I know that it is tough. I hope this will help you, but more than anything else, use this and keep persevering. Keep persevering, don't give up. When you get to the other stage, you are going to be so glad that you did. Thank you.